Hi there, welcome back. How are you today? So what's been coming up a lot lately is of when people leave, it creates an opportunity for us. Now, when I say people leave our lives, it can be anything from a person that's passed away to a relationship that's ended and that person's left, or even, when you drift apart, like I have with my cousin. I have a cousin that I grew up with that we were very close for a really long time, but it's been years now since we've seen each other or we've been together. And we used to think that we were going to grow old together, throughout most of our adult life. We shared so much time together. But after a certain period, we drifted apart. And there's a reason that people leave your life, And one of the things that's been coming up a lot lately, and it's been coming up from comments I've been reading or things that people have been sharing. What's coming up for me is, one, sometimes that opportunity is, for example, if it's your parents, right? Your mum and your dad. And one of them passes away. Say your dad passes away and your mum is left behind, right? And you grew up and you had all these issues with your mum. That is an opportunity for you to work out your issues, resolve them while you still have her with you. You have all this time that you can talk through things and try and resolve unresolved issues. If you still have anger towards your mum, or you still have resentment, or there's things you can feel within yourself, you'll know straight away what I'm talking about. If you can still feel within yourself that there's just something that you're holding against this person, then that's an opportunity for you to work that out. You still have them in your life and you can still do that. So that's the first one. The second, and the most important, I thought, was that sometimes when people leave, like when a relationship ends, you have a partner and you've been together for a while, like with my first partner, I was with him for 8 years and that didn't work out. We broke up in the end. I broke up with him in the end. And at the time we were both devastated because I honestly thought he was the one and we were going to grow old together, at the time. It's young love. We fell in love in high school and all of that. But looking back now, my whole focus was on him the whole time. That's what I was taught, that the female in the relationship takes after the male, we have to take care of them. So that's our job. That's our sole purpose, is to make sure that all them, his needs were met and that, my focus was meant to be on him. This is what I was taught, because that's how my mum behaved when I was growing up, that my dad was the most important, that he, we always did everything for him. And that's how I grew up, with that mentality, with that belief, that the male is the main breadwinner in the family. And so we take care of the male breadwinner, we take care of all their needs, make sure they're happy, right? So my whole focus was on him. And if I hadn't have broken up with him, I doubt that any of these books would have been written, or that I would have had my first awakening. Because my first awakening came when my daughter was born. And that was after 15 years, more than 15 years of waiting to have this beautiful girl. More than 15 years. We'd been waiting with my husband to have her. So if I'd have stayed with my first partner, we probably would have had 3 or 4 children straight off the bat, young, gone through life, watch them grow up, watch them leave the house, all of that. That would have been my life. Would have been dedicated to my family, and that was it. Sometimes people leave or relationships end to create an opportunity, to open a door for something bigger. Now, the other thing that was coming through Because I know for many people, when you have a life partner and you've been together for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, whatever it is, I'm trying to think. I think with my husband now, we've been together about 30 years. That's a long time. It's not, huge in the grand scheme of the 50 and 60s. Because my aunt in South America, she's been married 60 years. So I think, well, I don't have much on her, but 30 still sounds like a lot. And when the life partner dies, it's like, that's the end. There's nothing else. But what if it's not? What if when that partner passes away and you no longer have that distraction, if you like, we can call it a distraction, because your focus has been on them. What happens when you no longer have that person to focus on? What do? There are so many options. Yes, one option is to feel all alone and feel depressed and we miss them. That's an option. We can grieve the loss. And then what? Because for me, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to awaken, to become self-aware. This is not possible when you're focusing on others. When your focus is on your partner, when your focus is on your children, when your focus is outside of you, self-awareness is not possible. Because to become self-aware, you need to go within. You need to go inside. You need to sit with yourself. Your focus cannot be out there on others, on the outside. It needs to be inside. And this is where the magic happens. All the magic. When people talk about heaven on earth, this is what they're talking about. Going within and remembering the love that you are. When you remember, and you remember that you are spirit in human form, in that moment, you feel the connectedness to everything. You feel how connected you are. It's all spirit. Energetically, it's all spirit. And you'll realize you can't lose the person that just left or passed away. It's not possible. Energetically, you will always be connected. Always. But perhaps this being left when they left, so that you could go within. You could awaken. You could become self-aware. It was their gift to you that you may remember that you are spirit. And while that person is there, you can't remember. Your focus is on them. Your attention is on them. Your energy is on them. Where we place our energy, that's what grows. Where we focus our energy is what expands. And as long as we're focusing on things outside of us, how can we awaken to who we are if we don't look inside? How is it possible? So, my beautiful beings, for those of you grieving that you've lost a loved one and you miss them so much, know in your heart that that loved one is always with you. They don't go anywhere. They're in the spirit realm. but they are with you always. And perhaps they needed to leave when they left, because you needed them to go. It was part of your human experience. It was what you needed to wake up. Because that's what your soul chose. And perhaps for that person, for that being, they did everything they wanted to do in this lifetime. They came, and what they wanted to do on a soul level was done. There was nothing left for them to do. You know, we judge when people die young. I look at Mozart. Mozart died when he was 35. But it is incredible the amount of music that he left in those 35 years. You know, other beings could be here for 100 years and not even leave a third of what he left. It was incredible. It was so focused. His energy was just focused on music, and that was it. So 35 years, when that's all you do. You know? For some, perhaps what they came to achieve was done in the first 20, 30 years. It was done. They didn't need to be here any longer. That was it. That's all they wanted. And for you, as part of your life, you'd already agreed that that's fine. That's all you need. And that it was going to be a part of your journey. It was going to assist you on your human experience. Everything that happens is meant to happen. It's not a coincidence. It's not a mistake. They didn't leave early. It was meant to happen that way. It was their time. I know, I say that to my daughter all the time, and she's like, oh, Mum, will you stop with this? It's their time thing. But I know in my heart that when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. When it's your time to come, it's your time to come. My daughter didn't come 15 years earlier just because I wanted her to. She came when she was supposed to come. We arrive, we're born, when we're meant to come in, when we're meant to be born. And we go when it's time to go. That's it. On a human level, many times we don't understand. We want to understand why. Why did they leave so young? Why did they leave so early? Why? But looking at it through the eyes of spirit, that soul was done. It did what it had to do. There was nothing left for it here. It was loved. It was supported on its journey. That was it. So know in your heart that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Know in your heart that the people that you have loved and the people that have left were meant to leave. They're not part of your journey anymore. All right, my beautiful beings, we love you dearly. And just know that your beautiful loved ones that have departed, the ones that have passed away, are always with you, always in the spirit realm. They're always with you, energetically. So, my beautiful beings, if it makes you feel better, talk to them. They're listening. Talk to them. Ask them for signs. They're with you always. They never leave until you're together again in the spirit realm. Right, my beautiful beings, we love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video. Remember to share in case there is someone out there today that needs this message. Bye for now.